It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Thinks you should just put one paw ahead of the other and make your way up there. The tribe is...
Hello, welcome.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. The wall? He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is... There's something about your spirit. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He has... There were 6 of the Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. You were all part of the same tribe once, but without your Muma there as a guide, the disciples turned on each other and formed their own tribe. Seeing Myriad wants unity between the tribes. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong, and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness. Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. Watch it. That's going to leave a mark. Slice and dice. Took care of it. Sharp steel. As long as you're happy about it. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Coop wants you to make it a priority to come looking for him whenever you're feeling down. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you... He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? He says, but you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something.
Amun.
You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't... You should know. Practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only... She'll see you at the village square.
Kalino?
She'll be... Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. His only interest when creating is that what he comes up with is... He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from you. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says he can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He says only a few are willing to do the little things, but if he'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates those able to deliver a shot. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. Gizmo doesn't mind sharing. What's his is yours. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Kala.
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away.
Dropa. Andro?
She suggests you better hurry up then. You won't get far with that attitude.
Andro?
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone.
Kentsib. Tate ko baba sakting.
She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets, especially...
Tate ko baba sakting. Do malik tuk.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Moni Mintasa, minalagi mamuru.
She worries about you. Sometimes they look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not scared of anything, least of all you. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't.
Andro?
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Pial tuma, minalagi mamuru.
If confidence is silent and insecurity is loud, she thinks you...
Pial tuma.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Polakuto.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Kial duma le canoru tun. Ferena masalapu.
Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. Training with Muma will make you feel better. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He'll leave the quick part to you. You're the martial artist, after all. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle. He's curious to see what you found. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He's learned you never know when something you found might come in handy, so it's best to say. He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with... The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He can see the rebel in you. You're like, you should take it with you, wear it to practice. He agrees that you need to keep some things to yourself, but in general, you should... He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Muma says it's about time you got here. Says being on time would be better yet. She says she is eager to get started. You don't But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back. You might not be ready to take on...
Tukonda.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Asil natu.
That's all she's ever asked of you.
Kamonu. Pala.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Arialoche nui mumera. Vaseno kasaman varut.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Katja topolupta.
Reminds you that the best way to get someone to do things is... Catchy.
Vaseno kasaman varut.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Anaro lote.
Figuring that out is half the fun.
Minalagi mamuru. Kanamunta.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a...
Monibasa.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Anora kapapom.
You should think of it as watching over you when she can't.
Kanoruta.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Andro.
Everything... Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop LUPA-LUPIN from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Kamonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Minalagi mamuru.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight LUPA-LUPIN. This time there's no escape. She can hear him coming.
Kalino.
He wants to destroy her. The time to fight is coming, whether she's ready for it or not.
Kodoto kuri kumbala muma. Pala.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you.
Kuri kumbala muma.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her.
Andro. Masanal.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. perfect little cutter. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Shot. You're half dead. Nice shot. Rick. Pow. You've had better days. fall back. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the Farfnaki leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meet a group of myriad crusaders already headed up. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. The myriad tribe is prepared. Better not keep the crusaders waiting. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. A thing to draw blood. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? You're fading. Crack-a-doom. Face-fisted. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you... There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. It's time to do what's right, for certain values of right. Flattering. You should be able to use that. Let's see. Take this seriously. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. It's an up-cleaner of unwash, the clean-cut way to unstain garb. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. Should cover up your most important parts. What? You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. When Toxanol abandoned the place, it fell apart fast. Not too many, like... The tracks moved on from brick... Looks good. There's a change in the air. Feels like daybreak. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it. You're on the right track. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. Bomper Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Fest. Not going to happen with your key energy level. Injured. Give him a hand. You can see so much farther in the light. You don't have the key energy for that. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. This box once tailed a chugga-chugga. Now it's just off track. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. You made it to the quarrel spot. You've got to hate what the fighting's done to it. Daytime is the best time to get things done. You're on the ropes. Hurts less now. You're low on health. That ain't bad. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Glad to see some wood scrap there. You won't need a bath today. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hand. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he understands history made LUPA-LUPIN a big part of your past. You still believe there's some good in everyone. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way. But Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Yes, that's the way. No arguing with that.
Sometimes your gut is flat out wrong.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You...
Even the dark knows you're better than this.
Stick with me. We'll...
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Figures you're either a rare person or a good... Hard to believe the word... Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Thinks that's more than most are. It's hard to keep to a path like that. But that's not important. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past... He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. That's what he decided to call it after he saw it for the first time. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. Shield your eyes if the daylight hurts you.
Hi, dude. Welcome.
Make sure you know how to get back. That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. so little alive here. Keep to the straight and narrow. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen. He made a suction device so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find... It's a little feisty. Even the sound seems sharper here. These steel legs were made for walking. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Paul, go on!
Botsil. Inmo. Diava.
Let's see. This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must. Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions. You might... It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones. Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not but enough of... He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters. Both says as big as they are, the world is bigger. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to stop. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Thinks you... Moog says you should go hunt for squips. Birds don't have enough flaps to fly. Wait, it's the script hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. stand up on your own 2 feet. Ooh-wee, that's biohazard. Put one robot foot in front of the other. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. That's more than stuck. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. It feels like an ancient dungeon down here.